Hi, so today we're going to be talking about Prezi and how students can use this tool in the classroom or outside of the classroom to present projects or do other kinds of things. So here I have us up a blank Prezi, and we can see that it has prompts that we can use for the first time. So such as over here, it says this view is called Overview. We see over here we can zoom in and out on the wheel of our mouse. We have this, which is called, these are like frames, they're like slides, and we can click on them and move them around, which is kind of cool. So essentially each of these bubbles can be customized to contain text, photos, videos, and any number of other features really. So what's kind of cool about Prezi is that the bubbles like bounce, and by bounce I'll go ahead and we'll click on this first frame and we can see that we can zoom in, and then if we go over, they kind of bounce over from one another, which I like because it makes this presentation more interesting than something more linear like PowerPoint. And I think that kids really like this too. So something else that's really cool is we can customize the theme. So if we go up here and click customize, we can see that this is the background that we currently have. But we can scroll down here and we can change to any other number of colors. So we could do blue, or we could do green, or you can choose a file and click any other file that you might have if you want a custom background. And I think that this is kind of a really great feature for kids because it allows them to make it their own, instead of having it be quite so all the same. So another cool feature is if we go up here and we go into insert, we can see that we can insert images, symbols and shapes, YouTube videos, which I've done before. It works perfectly. It plays directly from Prezi. You can insert charts. But what I really like is you can add background music or voiceover. So the really cool thing about voiceover is that I think that it would be really awesome for students with special needs or students who are emergent bilinguals, because they could incorporate their spoken word or their spoken home language into this presentation. So for students who it might be a little bit harder for them to type because they don't know all the words or they have difficulty remembering words, they'd be able to speak it. And instead of having to type everything, they could have it just be voice. So, as I said, each of these bubbles can be easily changed. We see that we can click on here and we can edit the text, or we can simply delete it. And we can click on anything to sort of change it. You can change everything from the font to italics. You can bold it. You can change the color. So everything on Prezi is very customizable, very user-friendly. It's got this neat help button here, so in case you get lost on what to do, you can always click on that. But like I said, I really think that Prezi is a great tool for students to be able to give presentations. But I also think it's kind of cool for them to be able to format notes. So one example that I was sort of thinking of was if we had vocabulary, each student would be able to make one of these bubbles like a vocabulary word, so they could type the word in here, and then they could add the definition here, and then they could come up here, and they could add a photo, or they could add a video. And for students who are maybe, English is their second language, so they're emergent bilingual students, they could either add music that maybe makes them think of that word, or they could add voiceover, maybe in their home language and in English, so that for them, this becomes a really great study tool. But overall, I think Prezi is really easy to use. I think it's really great. I think it aligns a lot with everything that we're talking about. And I think for the most part, it's just a really interesting, easily formatted, easily customizable tool that anybody can use. I could see anywhere from maybe second grade all the way up using. If you were going to do this in either first grade or kindergarten, I think that I would really scaffold it and really teach how we're going to use each and every one of these individual bubbles. in each of these steps.